With the inner team method, I can visualize the inner voices that are present within my client, can work with the Schulz von Thun inner team method or inner family systems. In this example, we have worked out a theme of the client. We saw, okay, there is these inner voices that say, is this really good enough? You can't make any mistakes. And now in the next step of our session, we wanna visualize that using the inner team. To do so, we select the inner team coaching tool up here in our toolbar and end up in this configuration screen where we can choose inner team sets and also select, do we want to show names and or descriptions to the client. As long as we are still in this configuration screen, it's only me as a coach who can see the modal with the inner team that we open. Now I choose to only show the names, open this inner team set, and in this moment, the options to choose inner team members also show up for my client. Let's assume that the client chooses here the analyst, maybe the inner child, and also the inner critic as team members that are present. For now, they don't want to choose the inner leader. At this point, I as a coach can say, add all of these to the board, and for both of us, all team members will show up and we can arrange them as we see fit. At this point, we want to really explore with the client, who are these inner voices? What do they say? Maybe what do they need? For example, our inner critic here might say, you really screwed up this last project. You need to bring in the customer earlier. This is what we explore for all team members and arrange them as the client sees fit. At this point, we can, of course, keep working on this board, or alternatively, we can also say we want to document this state. We pick all the team members that we established and we move on to a new slide. I can simply Control-C, Control-V, so copy-paste the existing voices to the new board and here further work with them. Maybe as part of the further conversation, we find that analyst and pleaser voices are actually not that loud, they are less relevant, so we can make them a bit smaller. But maybe we also find that there's also more constructive voices, so we can open the inner team again and, for example, pick the leader to join us here on the board. With him, maybe we can explore what is it that this inner critic really needs. And with some further exploration, we may be able to find that the critic simply wants to be heard and that they can actually help you to find mistakes earlier. The leader might then be able to give the critic reassurance, say, I am here for you, all will be fine, and we can achieve a certain level of integration between those different voices. Of course, this is just an example case, but I hope it gives you an idea of how to work with the inner team tool on MetaFox Online. Enjoy!